Maraming real estate portfolios. So don't get me wrong. Isa sa mga real estate portfolio is kagaya nitong nabili naming office. We have 2 offices that is making money. Hindi kami naglalabas ng pera. Ito pa yung nagbabayad sa sarili niya. Okay? Although because it's a small office, small din yung income. Merong nag-i-invest sa land. So, ang mga lote, wala ka masyadong maintenance. It appreciates in value. But, again, caution is, may mga properties na instead na tumaas ang value ng lote, bumababa. So, it's always location, location, location. Pagdating sa ganon. May mga assets like mga retail, mga warehouses or retails, strip malls. Those are also an investment into real estate. Those are all real estate that is making money. Again, ang mga ganong klaseng portfolio, it's just a matter of knowing ano ba talaga, where are we putting our money into? Okay? So something that will generate a better return when it comes to your money. You put your money on this, how much it will generate. We are more focused on the multifamily because number one, aside from it having an appreciation on value, it generates cash flow. So this is actually an interactive session. So if you have questions or meron kayong anything that needs clarification, just i-unmute nyo yung sarili nyo and then we can discuss about it. So our discussion is focusing more on the investment side. And it's about the real estate investing. So I'm Ate Mel. Ang profession ko is a real estate broker and I'm a realtor by background as well. So marami akong naging agents before and I decided about ago that I need to let go some of my agents and focus on the real estate investments. This is actually one of the ways na makakapag-establish tayo ng ating portfolio or sinasabi na mga properties, makakabili tayo ng mga properties where it will generate cash flow and that will be a passive income pagka na-establish mo na maayos yung iyong investment sa mga actually we're talking about multifamily here. Okay, so just for the introduction, si Jason's been learning these sessions with us for many times na. So just a little bit of background dun sa mga kasama natin just for now. When it comes to real estate, majority of Filipinos, ang ating interpretation dyan is bahay. Okay. Gusto kong bumili ng bahay para magkaroon ako ng sarili kong asset na at least hindi na ako umuupa. Okay? That's always I would say, yan yung paradigm nating mga Pilipino. Pag nagkaroon ako ng property, pag nagkaroon ako ng bahay, ipapamana ko to sa aking mga anak. And that goes on and on and on. Yung idea na yan na ipamana sa atin ng ating parents and then somehow ganun din yung idea yung ipapamana natin sa ating mga anak. Napakapayak, I would say, very simple, very, very simple ang idea nating mga Pilipino when it comes to investing. And that's the reason why me and my husband, when we learn about this, I was like, I'll share it to our Filipino community kasi napakalaking ministry, parang ministry. So ayan. So if I may ask, are you own your own place now, Marilyn and Romel? Do you? You're renting, Marilyn?
Yeah.
Good, very good. And then sila Romel at Christy, you own your place now? Okay, that's good. So, yun yung ating simpleng idea about investing. When it comes to real estate, ang nasa isip natin bahay. And then later on, while owning the house, nababayaran natin, di ba? So, very typical I've been in real estate for more than 15 years now. Ang trending nating mga Pilipino when it comes to the knowledge of real estate is once na nakabayad ako ng konti, magre-renew ako, tumaas na yung equity ng property, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the bank and then magtatanong ako kung pwede ba akong kumuha ulit ng another house para papaupahan ko. Okay? So that's how we are majority of the time. Yan yung idea natin na mga Pilipino. Walang masama doon. Meron tayong idea about investing. Kaya lang, it's a very small scale yung alam natin. Kaya, ang dinidiscuss namin dito is more of understanding numbers. Pagdating sa numbers, labs na labs ko yan. Lalo tong katabi ko. Labs na kasi pareho kaming accountant. So, si Jason's been a partner with us doon sa aming naging acquisition. So, gustong-gusto namin pag-uusapan yung mga numbers na yan kasi syempre you want to know how your money will grow, 'di ba? And kasi yan yung magiging passive, magiging cash flow mo kahit hindi ka na nagtatrabaho, you're still making it. Kasi ang mangyayari doon, this is one of the things that we learn. So, ang bulk ng ating funds is nasa mga bahay, nasa equity. When I say pera is naiipon doon sa ating bahay. Hindi natin ginagalaw, especially tayong mga community natin kasi we want to pay off our house. That's one of the ways na parang mafe-feel natin na, oh, I accomplished something. I know I have nothing to pay anymore kasi bayad na yung bahay ko. Again, nothing wrong with that. It's just that ano yung ginagawa ng pera mo sa house. We're just discussing about yung ating iniipon sa bahay, the money that's sitting there, what is it doing for us? A lazy money will only say you're gonna work for the rest of your life. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng lazy money. What are those lazy money? Diba? Marami tayong mga investments and then Ate Berna is into investing too. Like, meron siya mga investments portfolios sa mga financial institutions. They're making money. Once that you put that into the investment, they're making money. But here's the thing, majority of us, hindi natin alam kung paano natin gagamitin yung funds na yon na naiipon bilang equity ng ating property or any savings na masyadong maliit yung kinikita. There are ways that you could put it into an asset na mag-generate ng passive income. So that's what we discovered. I've been in real estate for 15 years, parang 14 years bago ko na-discover yung sinasabing one of the biggest mind opener ko sa real estate is to invest into this kind of portfolios na it's a long-term hold of asset na that will give you and your generation, tinatawag nilang generational wealth. So we have it's happening to many people already na mayroong mga investments sa real estate, which is more focused on multi-families. Maraming real estate portfolios. Don't get me wrong. Isa sa mga real estate portfolio is kagaya nitong nabili naming office. We have 2 offices that is making money. Hindi kami naglalabas ng pera. Ito pa yung nagbabayad sa sarili niya. Okay? Although because it's a small office, small din yung income. Merong nag-i-invest sa land. So, ang mga lote, wala ka masyadong maintenance. It appreciates in value. But, again, caution is, may mga properties na instead na tumaas ang value ng lote, bumababa. So, it's always location. Pagdating sa ganon. May mga assets like mga retail, mga warehouses or retails, strip malls. Those are also an investment into real estate. Those are all real estate that is making money. Again, ang mga ganong klaseng portfolio, it's just a matter of knowing, ano ba talaga, where are we putting our money into? Okay? So something that will generate a better return when it comes to your money. You put your money on this, how much it will generate. Kami, we are more focused on the multifamily because number one, aside from it having an appreciation on value, it generates cash flow. So one of the rules that was taught to us was you should not lose money on real estate. Do not lose money on real estate. Do not ever lose money on real estate. That's rule number 1. And then rule number 2 is go back to rule number 1. Simple. Plain and simple when it comes to real estate investing. Tandaan nyo yun. When you put money into something, it has to cash flow. If it doesn't cash flow, don't buy. That's a simple rule. If you're gonna buy a house, a second property, You're gonna buy a house. Marilyn doesn't have a house yet. If you're gonna buy a house, does it cash flow? Will your house pay you something? Of course, the answer is not, kasi you're the one living in your house. But if somebody else lives in that house, do you think it will cash flow? Can be yes or no, depending on how much you buy the house, right? So, well, all of us are being taught that the house is a good investment, a house is an asset, but it all depends. Okay, it all depends on what kind of house, where's the location of the house. Because most of the time, when you don't know, well, as most of us will gonna say, we don't know what we don't know. That's why there are professionals that we need to get more informations about, and then there are professionals who are going to guide us when it comes to this kind of investments. Financially, you can always ask Ate Berna. When it comes to real estate, ask me. There's nothing wrong to ask. There's no such thing as a stupid question. There is always a question in mind that we need clarity, we need an explanation. So just throw it to a professional. They can figure out what you're trying to understand. Myself, being a realtor for quite a long time in Winnipeg, kahit natutulog yata ako, I can tell you where is the best location where you can invest, and then what is the right price per area. Okay, so medyo nakabisado na. It's been a while, and so thankful that there are many clients who really approach me, even if they already bought a house from me long time ago. They will not forget what I did from them. So it's good to have that kind of relationship to someone that knows something before you even act. It's very important. In real estate, there are numbers that you have to understand. These numbers are really very simple to learn and to calculate. It's just a matter of really knowing about it. Sometimes when you speak with people that's been in this business for quite some time, they'll be like talking only of like, what's that? Number of doors, cap rate. Those are new terminologies to us when you're not into real estate investment. But moving forward and learning stuff, you're gonna be very, very familiar when it says, oh, okay, what is the cap rate? In the last sessions that we had, we discussed about the number of doors. That is the most important number in the real estate investment, especially multifamily. It's the number of doors. Kasi here's the simple rule. If you believe in your heart that another property, if you own a property and then another property will generate you money, kaya maraming nag-i-invest ng single family, oh, I have enough equity in my home, I'm gonna buy another property to rent out. If you believe that that single house will gonna make you money, how much more if you have 50 houses, or not 50 houses, a building with 50 doors, one address, one location, 50 doors compared to one house, right? So if the number of doors is the most significant kasi that's where the scale is, the scale. You need to scale when you invest, meaning your money is not tied up only to one. Kasi here's a simple example. If you will invest in a single family home, well, in Winnipeg, marami akong clients who's into investing and they are buying single family homes. Most of them are making money kasi I'm very particular with the quality of the house that they're gonna purchase, the price and the location. So they're making money on cash flow, and then another one is appreciation of value. Kasi those are the two important part of investment. When I invest on something, number one rule is to cash flow and never lose money, right? And then second is the property value goes up, and therefore if you sell it in the future, you're gonna get gains, right? You gain on the appreciation of the property. So if we believe that one single house will do that, how much more is a 50 units apartment? But the big question is, how can we buy the 50 units apartment? Isn't it so expensive to buy those kind of properties? Of course. That's why I cannot do it. Individually, we cannot do it unless we are born with silver spoon, sabi nga. But together, that's what we learned just very recently, just last year. We learned that we can possibly acquire if we go together, create a group that will acquire that asset and be an owner of that asset. That's how it is. It's a very simple, minsan hindi natin naiisip kasi nga what we focus on is what if yun ng isang bahay it's so tough to get the pre-qualification, diba? The bank will always say how much is your income, how much is the debt service ratio. So if you're gonna rent it, how much will you make? Kaya ba niyang bayaran yung sarili niya? Will it offset whatever mortgage, property tax, and insurance? So those are the questions. That's why when we talk about how can we buy the 50 units doors, right? Or how many 50 doors apartment, single unit nga lang, ang hirap mag-qualify. But there is a different way of computing. The bank will gonna evaluate the asset and then secondary lang tayo. That's the simple rule that they do. If there is a deal, the bank, they're gonna make evaluation and then we only need to provide whatever they're gonna require us. In investments, sa real estate, the number one is the number of doors. Number two important number is the NOI, the net operating income. So the net operating income is by deducting the expenses and the vacancy from the total rent, yun yung net operating income. Ito yung napaka-importanting numbers na tinitingnan ng bangko. Kasi when the bank evaluates the asset, it's always that. NOI. What's the NOI? Yan ang kanilang language. And next to that number is cap rate. Cap rate, as discussed, it is the income of the asset, the net income of the asset if it doesn't have loans. That's cap rate. And every property in every location has different cap rates. Kasi ang property can have different types. Class A, Class B, Class C. All different cap rates. Good location, great location, rough location, different cap rates too. Okay, so those are cap rates are being determined by the bank, appraisers, and sometimes realtors who knows and really involved, commercial brokers who are really involved into commercial deals. So sila yung nakakapag-determine, it has a 5% cap rate, 4% cap rate. And when it comes to cap rate, it has an inverse relationship with price. When the cap rate goes down, price of the property goes up. Pag nakita mo ang cap rate ng isang building is 7% dito sa Winnipeg, it will say, oh, it's an average location. Pagka 4 and 5, it's one of the prime location. Pag 10, it's a very rough location. So, minsan, ang iisipin natin, oh, it's making 8% cap rate, meaning it generates more income. But yeah, it doesn't mean that you are in a good location or the property is really a good property. Most of the time, when it comes to a higher cap rate, rough neighborhood, the property is not in good shape. So that's how cap rates is being evaluated, okay? Those are the numbers. Importanteng maintindihan nyo again, the numbers, because this will lead you to understanding about the commercial side of real estate. So we understand about houses. That's the residential. That's what we learned even back home. Pagka meron tayong bahay, we have a good investment. Okay, kasi that will be parang it will be transferred from one generation to another. But again, if we believe that our house is an asset, it has only one door, tayo lang yung nakatira, it doesn't generate cash flow. How much more is a 50 doors apartment that has cash flow, appreciates in value, correct? So ganun tayo dapat mag-iisip. Pagdating sa investing, it is not something normal. Sabi nga, if we want to change something in our life, we have to change our thinking first and the way we think, correct? Kailangan magkaroon tayo ng changes doon. Kasi otherwise, nothing will gonna change. Pero nothing's gonna change my love for you. Naalala ko yung kanta. Kasi di ba, nothing's gonna change my love. But again, what we're talking here is yung ating, sabi nga, insanity is, anong ibig sabihin ng insanity? Means doing the same thing over and over again and then you're expecting a different result. So if we want a different result, we have to think differently. So moving forward, it's not wrong to ask, sino kaya may-ari ng apartment na yan? Binibenta kaya yan? Or if you knew of anyone who's living in an apartment, like Marilyn. Marilyn, saan ka ba nakatira? Is it how many doors ang apartment na tinitira mo?
Just one.
It's a house?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, pag umalis ka dyan, Marilyn, yung landlord mo 100% ang vacancy, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Kasi only one. Diba? But if there are 50 doors, umalis ang isa, ilan lang ang percentage of vacancy?
2%.
Right? So that's how it is. That's how the numbers are very significant into real estate investing. So the more doors, the better. If we have 100 doors, 10 ang umalis, we only have 10% vacancy. Pero pagka duplex lang ang kinuha mong investment, you have 2 doors, umalis yung isa, ano na natira sa'yo? 50% na lang. Yeah? So that's how it is. The more doors, the better kasi yung scale. That's where they call it, if you want to scale your business, multiply it 10 times, 100 times. Kasi that's where you're gonna get a better return of whatever you do. And even therefore, in our thinking, dapat ganun tayo mag-isip. We have to think 10 times. Yung goals natin, let's set it 10 times more. If they can do it, if many people can own an apartment building, why not us? Yun yung naging mindset namin when we learned about these things. It's like if they can acquire, actually they're not building, if they can acquire 3,000 units in 6 years, that's very doable. That's very doable. Because we have friends, my mentor who's teaching me about this kind of information, he's only doing this for 6 years and they have 3,000 units. 3,000 units in 6 years. There is one group which is part of our club. They acquired this, they've been doing it only for 2 years. They're on their 2,000 units. So it is a matter of understanding the numbers and understanding too where these deals are. Nasaan ba tong mga deals na to? You cannot really see it on the MLS all the time. You can't see it on the listings in the website. Most of the time, it happens on the connections. So may mga may-ari, majority of the time, yung mga may-ari ng malalaking buildings and apartments, they don't want other people know that they're selling it. So if you're connected to one, a friend of a friend of a friend, or a relative, or a coworker, a colleague of a colleague, I mean, it's the network. Minsan doon siya and just like what we experience, it's a small building yung inacquire namin in the very first. It came from a broker friend of mine. Sabi, I am listing one of the office. Gusto mo ba magkaroon ka ng office? It's like, really? Where is it? So that was the office that we got on the corner of Ellis and Valor. And during those times, because we're just starting out, I have a very small down payment, and then the bank turned me down. The beauty of the relationship is that we built rapport to the owner, and then you know what happens? Yung owner mismo ang nag-finance ng deal for us because they don't have loans anymore. They just want to pass that on and move on to whatever other properties they have. So there are those opportunities as well. Like the owner can finance it if the owner holds it for a very long time. One of the benefits of doing that is the owner of the building will not get the tax implications on the first year of sale because the tax was broken. Kumbaga, binigay lang namin this amount, so doon lang siya itatax on whatever he got for the first year and then the second year. So those are a win-win, those kind of a win-win situations. There are opportunities like that here. Kaya one of the perspective, well, I'm saying this because it's really a mindset. It's really a mindset. We switch gears, I would say. We switch gears from having our goal, my goal especially as a broker, to grow my agents. I switched from that instead doing the investment side. Kasi for more than 10 years, I have about 11, 12 agents at one time. Yung feel na the more agents you have, the more hours I need to spend with them. And I was like, I'm not young anymore. I'm 20. I'm not young anymore. I want my money to work for me. I want something. What I'm thinking is, if I have agents, I have leverage, but it's not happening. It's not happening on my case. I was like, the more agents I have, the more hours I need to spend with them. So, merong income doon, but it's trading me time. I don't like that. I want an investment that my money can work for me without me doing anything. Ang sarap yata nun, that you are somewhere outside Winnipeg kapag ka ganitong, let's say, nasa Pilipinas kapag ganitong winter time. O kaya nandun ka sa Florida, snowbird kind of life. Right? Pero, hindi kayong tipong nakatied in na nagtatrabaho. You're doing things in your control, but this investment is working for you. Hindi mo nakobra yung cash flow mo. I don't know if you know the word cobra. You didn't collect your cash flow kasi wala ka dito. Hindi mo natanggap yung distributions mo. And then, 3 months ka away from Winnipeg. When you come back, you have 3 months of cash flow in your account. Diba? That cash flow piles up every single month. That's what we intend to do. Like some of our friends are already receiving cash flows back in the US kasi they've been doing it for a year and a half. So they already experienced that their money is working really for them. And I was like, if you can do it there, we can do it here too in Winnipeg. Ayaw daw nila dito mag-invest kasi it's cold here. They want us to invest in somewhere with palm trees, with hills. Kasi mas maganda daw ang rent kapag ka ganon. But anyways, I was like, I love Winnipeg. I believe meron tayong mission dito sa mga kababayan natin in Winnipeg to understand this idea of investing. Again, this is not only for the rich. Just so you know, this is for everybody who wants to improve their life. And sabi ko nga, the younger you know this, the better, because of the hold. If you started this young, 10 years, the statistics says every 10 years, the property value doubles. Actually, after the pandemic, which was only 4 years, some of the properties appreciates in value almost, I would say, 80%. So nabili, they bought the house 200,000 before pandemic. Now it's 280,000, 300,000, 320,000. I see it before my eyes because I am a realtor. It was like we only bought it for 200,000 before pandemic, and now everybody's selling it over 300,000. So that's how it is. So if you started this when you're young, after 10 years, imagine after 10 years, how big is the appreciation that you're gonna get, diba? So sa amin naman, on our case, I have apo na, and I was like, I am one of those na there was a story that was told long time ago kasi there were two grandparents daw. There are two grandparents. One of them just planted rows of mango trees. So parang ginawa niya yung yards. And one of the grandparents is just like staring at the other one, saying, "Who will gonna benefit from what you were doing?" I was like, well, I'm doing it because I have kids and I have grandkids and the kids of my grandkids and after them. So generational. This is what it's all about. The real estate investing is more of a generational. Especially if you focus on the multifamily, it's more of generational wealth. You're benefiting from it today, and then your kids, your grandkids, and your great grandkids, and the kids after that. So it's something generational. Kaya this is actually a mission for us. Just letting us know that, letting everybody know that there is an opportunity out there na hindi natin natatap. Especially tayong masisipag na Pilipino, we only work kasi that's what we were told to do. Tapos takot na takot tayo when we are using an equity to invest, when we're tapping our line of credits to invest or start business. Always remember, these facilities are there because merong opportunity na pwede nating paggamitan noon. There is always an opportunity. It's just a matter of computation, what the number says. Pag tinanggal ko ba to sa aking bahay, inilagay ko dyan sa investment na yan, will I get something out of it? That's numbers. That's all numbers. If the numbers will make sense, why not? But majority of Filipino doesn't think that way. Majority of us we're taught, pag maikli ang kumot, matutong mamaluktot. You know that, when the blanket is small, parang okay, just cover yourself and with a small blanket. And then, pag malaki yung blanket, and then, so, but anyways, ganun yung thinking natin. But the reason why we were stuck and we just focus on our job is we always want security. We always want something parang stable. Because in business, just like me, if I don't have sale, I don't have income in real estate. Similarly, if you're self-employed, the same thing. Pag wala kang makuhang clients for insurance, wala kang business. Wala kang income. Majority of us, kaya tayo nagtsatsaga, kahit ang lamig-lamig, papasok tayo sa umaga-umaga, 8 hours tayo sa work. Kasi we know that after 15 days, here's our paycheck. Right? Those are the big difference of people who's in business. Kasi ang mga taong nasa negosyo, they're always looking for something na kailangan nilang magawa in order to get something, which is always better than being an employee. I'm not saying na employee is wrong. Being an employee is a good thing, and yan yung gagamitin natin. Tayong mga empleyado, that's what we're gonna use in order to invest. Kasi the way Canada, North Americans set up pagdating sa finance, they trust more on those people who work and have their 8 to 5 jobs kaysa doon sa mga nasa business. And that's something that you in the employment world has to take advantage. Kasi the banks and the financial institutions are trusting you more than us. Kaming mga nasa business, before they can use our income for loans, it has to be 2 years of stable operations. 2 years. So kung hindi pa stable yung operations mo in 2 years, good luck. Kailangan mo 3 taon. Right? So that's how in business is. But I'm just saying, tayong mga employees, we have that kind of privilege. We just have to use it for a better good. Not only for maganda ang aking employment and I can pay off whatever loans I have before I retire. So your money sits there somewhere doing nothing. Don't let not that happen to all of you here. Sana after this session, think about a different thing. Think about how your money will gonna work for you in the best possible way. Let your penny work for you in a very smart way. Hindi lang yung kinita mo, yun yung gagastusin mo. No. In the investment world, this is how it will go. You earn money from your employment. You invest that money into something, and whatever it cash flow yung investment mo yun, that's the money that you're gonna use. It will start small, pero in the long term, that will take care of you when you're on the retirement stage na. Diba? Ang sarap sana. Sabi ko nga sana noon pa namin to naintindihan. Sana nung dumating kami sa Canada, alam ko na sana to. Siguro kalahati na ng Winnipeg nabili. Anyways, I'm just saying, hindi masamang mangarap. It all starts by dreaming. It all starts by asking yourself, is this the things, itong ginagawa ko ngayon, the way I do things every single day, my routine, everything, is this the thing that I'm gonna do over and over until I retire? Think about those kind of questions na something that will open up something in your mind, diba? To ask. Have that kind of parang self-talk. Ikaw Mel, anong gagawin mo in the next 5 years? Will you still be stuck in snow during winter time? Ako kasi nagpapakita ako ng house kahit hanggang tuhod yung snow. Well, Jason can attest to that. I have several clients na naghanap kami in the middle of -40. And I was like, please, wag mo na kayo. Do not get off your car unless I open the door. Kasi sometimes the lockbox gets stuck. I can't get the keys. And then kasama nila yung kanilang mga anak. We're looking for a house. So, and I was like, nothing wrong with that. It's an experience. But will I be doing that over and over again hanggang sa matanda na, I mean, I knew a lot of realtor on the age 70s. They're still very happy doing this stuff. And I was like, I'll be doing that same thing too. No problem. But I can say, okay, during this winter, 2020, after 5 years is what? 2030? In 2030, let's say, I don't want to be in Winnipeg for 6 months. pupunta muna ako mamamasyal muna ako sa LA, nandun ang anak ko, or sa New York. Then babalik ako dito pag wala ng snow. And then, pero pagdating ng 2027, gusto ko pa rin ulit yung mga kliyenteng bibili ng bahay during snow time. I'm okay. I'm gonna stay here. So I have that option to work or not to work. I'm not tied into something na I have to really work. Right? So I'm just giving you just a little bit of something to think about moving forward. And yung oras mo dito na, let's say an hour that you spend here with me, knowing these kind of numbers and understanding just a little bit. Because if you really want to know more about investing in real estate, we have to really sit down and talk deeply about this. Hindi to something na ngayon mo lang narinig, ayan na, alam mo na lahat. No. I started learning this since last year. It opened, so that was, no, not last year, but December of 2023. And then it opened, I keep learning. And then July of 2024, that's when me and my husband's eyes were open. And then we found the opportunity, the one that we got, 28 units of apartment in front of Garden City Collegiate, August. So if you know your staffs well, opportunities will show up. Naniniwala ako doon. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, or vice versa. When the teacher is ready, the student will appear. If you are ready and you understand your things in the investment, an opportunity will show up. The only thing we didn't see it is because we don't know it. In a simple explanation, what is your favorite car? Kunwari lang. Mercedes-Benz, kunwari lang. Isipin mo Mercedes-Benz, pag alis mo ng bahay bukas, lahat ng makikita mo, puro Mercedes-Benz. I'm telling you this because it's true. It's true. Ang gusto ko, puting kotse. Bukas, pagpasok mo sa work, lahat ng makikita mo, puting kotse. Yeah, I'm telling you this because of what's in here. So the only reason, bakit ngayon ko lang to nalaman? Tanong ko yan nung last year bakit ngayon lang to nagpakita sa akin? I've been in real estate for 14 years na. Why? Because that's the only time I knew it. Diba? Nag-grasp mo yung idea. And it's not late. It's just that it's good if you understand it kung bata ka pa. Kasi your time is your best friend. Diba? I think that's that. Ang dami kong kwento. I hope you're able to get something from me. I'll be happy to share with you more kung gusto nyo maintindihan to deeply. Look around you. Before, ang nakikita ko lang bahay. Ngayon, alam nyo kung ano nakikita namin mag-asawa every time we go out of a house? Tall buildings. Ang dami pala dito sa atin sa Winnipeg na mga high-rise. Ang dami na. And ang dami din palang apartments dito na more than 100 units ang apartment complex. So, I was like, mayroong may-ari niyan. And for sure, at one point, magbebenta. We just have to be ready. Yun lang ang kailangan natin maintindihan. And we should know the number, how to underwrite. So when you see something, you can underwrite. Oh, sabi ni Ate Mel, 30 units yung apartment na yan. Ito ang average rent. Malalaman mo na kung magkano yung presyo ng property ngayon. We'll discuss about it by next meeting. So I think that's all for today, unless you have questions.
Ako meron.
Okay. Ikaw talaga, ginamit mo yung pangalan ni Ate.
Ano na po yung nabili niyo property?
So yung nabili naming properties, very fresh. Actually, mainit-init pa. 28 units na apartment doon sa harapan ng Garden City Collegiate. In the corner of Jefferson and Sinclair, kung familiar kayo sa Garden City area.
Meron nga po doon mga 3.
Nice!
Magkano po yung ganon, yung 28 unit? And how
So
much ang mga down sa ganon kung yun ay business?
What the bank gave us is a 70% loan for that. And ang naging value ng property is, actually ang value ng property is almost 4.6. So we come up with 30% now. So depende. Ang gusto ng bangko, kung let's say, ang sasabihin sa'yo ng bangko is, this will qualify for 20% down payment, then you only have to provide 20% down payment. And then if the bank will gonna say, oh, this one will require 35% down payment, so 35% down payment.
Doon po sa inyong nakaka 6 months na po kayo o 1 year?
No, we just acquired it. Ang possession date namin is ngayong January.
So wala pa
So
siya, hindi
it's
nyo pa
just
alam
a-
ang cap rate niya.
Just the turnover. A cap rate is 5.
5 based on sa projected income. Magkano po ang NOI?
Nako, magaling na question yan. It's over 240. Tama ba ako, sister? Nasa 240 yung NOI natin. Yeah. So, computein mo. Magkano lalabas? So,
240 divided
okay,
by
as we
4.6.
compute, see, if we have 240,000 na NOI, divide mo yan sa cap rate na 5%. So, tama ba?
4.8.
That's more or less, ganun naman yung, ano na yan, calculation. So, basta ang property natin, just in case you're gonna find something out there, it has to pass the location, number 1. Number 2, yung occupancy ng building. Kasi that's what the bank will gonna look at.
Nag-ano po tayo? Meron po kayo diyang property manager or property management o yung corporation mismo nagmamanage?
No, we do have a property management. So, basically, we're hands
Ano po
off.
yung subcontract?
Naka-contract. Yeah.
Magkano
So,
po
those
yung percentage na contractor sa management ng property?
Depende naman yan sa sa negotiation mo sa property management company. Si Sister Marie Vic dito previously from a property management group siya. So, sister, sa mga ganong klaseng normally nakakakita ka ba ng contract between the owner, yung contract nila of service, how much it will range?
Actually, kasi condo ang usual na inaano namin. But then when we are in the rent, spend talaga a percentage of the rent expense, of the rent
income.
Yeah. Only a percentage of the
Magkano ang average ng property management normally based on the rent?
Usually,
Like percentage.
for instance, just to simplify, like 1 unit, ang rent niya, just for the sake of illustration lang, 1,000. So, 100 of that are napupunta sa property management.
So 10% normally sinadjust ng property management.
Yes. And it varies, depende sa, yun pa rin sa mga, yun na nga, kung magkano pa yung magiging mga, kaya kailangan, alam mo yung magkano yung mga, inaalis pa yun yung mga, marami yung mga deposit nila or what. But usually, it depends on the rent ng unit. Doon nag-aano lang din ang property management. Hindi sila kasi a property management firm is not it is considered as a non-profit. Yeah,
It's more of the service lang. But
it's more of the service.
I think the more doors you have, the
Yes.
lesser the percentage is.
Yes. Yeah. So
Kaya isa din yun sa reason why you would have to focus on getting more doors kasi mas less ang charges on the parang cheaper by the dozen na tinatawag.
correct. That's correct. We have 300 units na inahandle namin. Mas marami pa kaming income doon sa 20 or 50.
Kasi sa mga less number of units, no?
Yes, correct.
That's correct. So, anyways, those are good questions. Thank you, sister, for sharing, and then thank you.
Anytime and anything kung kaya. But now I'm no longer connected with pero syempre may mga pa rin tayo.
Yeah, the information is there. So, yeah. Basta kung meron kang pwede tayong maka-penetrate doon, why not?
Why not? Yes. Sure.
Why not? Balay mo magbebenta din sila ng properties, then we can talk.
Umpisahan ko lang si Smell.
Very good. Thank you, sister. Nako, thank you very much. So, anyways, just keep connected kasi every Tuesday naman meron tayong sessions na ganito. And if you have some questions down the road na parang hindi ko to naintindihan, anong ibig sabihin nito? Text me, email me, o kaya si Ate Berna. Very, naman kami. Kung meron kayong mga questions about this, we're just here to help out dun sa mga questions na yun. And ayun pa lang, just to start your tawag nito, changing something on your thinking, and then explore natin ang opportunity na to. It's not only, again, for anyone who are born with a silver spoon, but people who are wanting to change their life. Doon yun magkakaroon.
Thank you very much for attending. Like I said, this session is more on information. about investment. But if in case you wanna know more about what we did for our goals and our then Sister Mel is the person who can give you the whole.
May last question lang po. Nung nag-acquire po kayo ng property, kayo po ba ay corporation o kayo ay entrepreneur or sole proprietor as a business entity?
Corporation. It's always good to acquire na merong proper structure, and that's one thing to na tinuturo namin kung paano gagawin.
Ibig ko po sabihin ng corporation entity, kayo po ay marami o kayo po ay individual na incorporated?
Individual na incorporated. No, we formed.
Ali marami po kayo, ay mga incorporators po.
Meron.
So the building was purchased by the corporation.
Mm-mm.
But
Okay.
then the shareholders consist of corporation, incorporated businesses like my business and Sister Mel's business, and individuals.
Mhm.
Ganon.
Mhm. We were guided by the
lawyer.
lawyers on
And
how
the
to structure. Yeah, so we have a good lawyer, an accountant, and the bank that structures the setup, kumbaga. Set it up accordingly kasi if it is not aligned with what the bank requires, hindi papasa sa financing, and the bank is the biggest partner here, I would say, because they shouldered 70% of the price. Mhm. So, Kela Romel and Christy, is this something that
Salamat.
gives you a little bit of info? Yeah, thank you. Then you get something from this, Christy? Yeah. Very good, because I know it's a Tagalog and English. I'm not sure if you can still understand Tagalog. So
Just a little bit, so but
yeah, I think you can still follow the flow of communication and is it okay?
that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or English, but it's still okay.
The Romel and Christy, they're very interested in investing, and that's why when I talked to them last week, I said, okay, maybe it's good if you can listen to more to you in this Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
And Raybert, he's already in doing some,
Yeah, some rental properties.
and he's the one. Yeah, he got lots of experience and knowledge about investing
Hindi
already.
lang po,
Very
konti lang. Ano lang nag-i-start.
Very good.
Just wanna see ano yung potential ng multi-family kasi nasa single family home po ako.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, majority of the time when we ask our mentor to what we're gonna do with a single family homes, and then he always says, sell them and buy a bigger portfolio. I was like, really? Okay, then we have to find something. well, the opportunity of single family properties in Winnipeg is still good, I would say. Being the realtor,
Ano po, sa aking experience, okay siya. Kasi cash flow siya.
it's
And
yeah.
depende sa
That's the
property. Yung sinasabi niyo pong numbers, ako kasi self-taught eh. Nagbasa ako ng
Yeah.
libro, I
Very
watched
good.
a lot of videos before I went into the business. Nakakatakot
Right.
talaga kasi hindi mo alam kung ano mangyayari sa'yo. So, I did a lot of mistake pero ano naman siya. Nako-correct naman in the process.
Very good. As long as you're not losing.
Not losing, yeah. You're right.
Very good. Very good. So that's the number one. Ito lang ang matandaan nyo. This is the only important, probably, education or something, a takeaway from this session is when you invest in real estate, the number one rule is do not lose money. And the number two rule is do not go back to number one. So that's it.
Yeah, for Marilyn, thank you for attending. Yes, she's new to real estate investing. I mean, her and her sister are very interested into going into real estate investing.
Very good.
They have an idea, and especially Mariel. Mariel is not here, but they're planning to do it. So I said, okay, maybe listen to you first before you decide, so you have a better idea of.
Exactly. And especially that you're not in, you don't own your house yet, right?
Yeah.
So that is a very smart idea. Because it's always numbers. Compute. I'm saying this not because okay, because if I am a typical realtor, I'm gonna say to you, Marilyn, tara, bili tayo ng house. Let's buy, okay? Because that's my business. I'll make money from you. But here's the thing. Be smart. Compute the numbers. Okay, what will make sense? Because the house, it will not cash flow. That's 100% Kahit sino tanungin mo. Okay? When you own a house, it doesn't cash flow. It's always
Cash out.
cash out. Right? It's not cashing in, it's cashing out. Unless you do what's this? What's that? Rayburn. Yeah. Unless you do what Rayburn do, you buy another property that you're gonna rent out. Pero as of this time, when did you started it, Rayburn? I'm just curious.
2021?
2021, during COVID time, you found deals. Very good. 'Cause
Oho.
right
Depende
now-
po. Yung sabi nyo nga pong numbers, yun po dapat ang malaman ng mga nakikinig. Kasi yung numbers na sinasabi nyo po, hindi naman namin alam yun eh. Ako medyo nalalaman ko na kasi I went in through the process. Pero yung numbers po,
Yes.
dapat yung pong specific numbers na yon, ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nyo? That has to be discussed with these people. Kasi if I am a new audience at ano kaya yung numbers na sinasabi na hindi namin maintindihan nyo. Right now, naiintindihan ko po yung sinasabi nyo, cap rate, NOI, kasi I have come across that at nagkwenta na ako ng numbers. But
Correct.
sila dapat malaman nila yun.
Yeah.
Ano yung
That's
numbers? When you say numbers, what is that? You have, this kailangan pong i-explain nyo siya in details ng konti para may idea sila, oh, yung pala yun, how will a property will cash flow?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I think she did because there's so many things to be discussed in a session. I heard of you one time you discussed about how to calculate the cap rate. know, what's,
Yeah, it's one of the sessions in the past that we had.
Yeah,
Yeah, because today we just talk more about the
overview.
and then the cap rate kasi yun yung pinaka bottom line ng equation, kumbaga. Like determining what is the value of the property. Yun yung next number na pag-uusapan natin. That when you see a property, you don't need to ask so many numbers. You just have to know what's the NOI and how much is the cap rate of that building, and then you can come up with the value of the property. So you're investing into something na you know the numbers. Kasi you don't want to be an investor na you have blank information in your head. That's a big no in investing.
Oh, I have a good experience, bad experience, not good actually. Yeah, in 2012, we bought a condo. It was a very good offer. Okay, me not knowing, and that's one of the best lesson I learned is do not go into something that you really don't know. Because see, the seller will give me the down payment, will pay for the closing cost, and will guarantee the rent for 1 year. And I just have to sign. I said, oh, that's a good deal. Okay, so me and my friend, we signed. Now it's a headache. Actually, the value they sold it overpriced to us. So we bought it for 160, and how many years now? 12 years, and now the assessed value is only 90. So that's how it's not a good investment because I know nothing about it. I just thought, oh, it's so good in the surface, but
That's so true.
I didn't know more about real estate at that time, more than what I know now. But the good thing is it's someone is using it, someone is paying.
Yeah.
It's just in the appreciation of the value of the property, you know. So that's why we're still holding on to it.
Kasi the value of the condominium in Winnipeg it started when I started real estate. So it's over 14 years. Yeah, almost 14 years now that the value depreciates on the condos. Majority of the condo developments. So somebody bought it at this price. Just like an example. Some locations are okay, but majority, it's the majority of the condo developments, they depreciate in value, unfortunately. So I don't know when it will gonna go back. So, but yeah, that's how it is right now.
Sister Cecile, good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah. Ayun lang siya nagpakita in a Zoom.
Salamat sa
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm looking forward to listening to your Well, just to let you know that Sis Imelda and Ate Bird, they really giving us a good guidance on go through every investment na inaano namin ngayon. So, ay nawala. Sorry, pa.
Dito pa kami.
Andito pa kami.
Oh, here. Ayan na. Yeah, so all the questions we asked and that we learned dahil din sa kanila. Kaya everything will be go well and congratulations.
That's good.
God bless everybody.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sister.
Yeah, nagpapagaling pa lang ako dahil
I know you got sick.
But I'm
So,
getting
yeah.
Mhm.
Kasi siya yung isa sa example na sinasabi ko na because we're working, kahit napakalamig, napakaaga, you have to really go to work because for the sake of work, correct?
That's
Because
true.
that's one of the things we know,
Mhm.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Kaya lang, if there are possibilities that our money can work hard for us,
That's true.
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Sabi ka ng mentor ko, let's go. Diba?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Andito
Well,
to yun.
Mhm.
That's
And
true. Kasi nga, I've been working so hard for how many years? 20, 30 years now. Been paying income tax all the time, every year. And then, yeah. And I
Mhm.
met Sis Mel and Ate Berna. So, yun.
different chapter.
Mm,
Gonna be a different
this
chapter.
year. Yes, that's true.
Different chapter. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I think, ayan, overtime na tayo. Thank you very much. I know this is a very interesting topic. Every time we hold this session, lagi kaming overtime. Kasi ang daming magagandang stories and ang daming
Yeah.
magagandang opportunity, which is really good. I hope we hope that everybody learned something from tonight, and moving forward, we'll be in touch. Tuesday, discuss natin yung valuation of this building. So we'll learn that calculations by next week.
There's
Okay.
a good example by Tuesday.
By Tuesday, we're gonna go kasi I have 3 or 4 buildings that we're gonna compute. Pero kasi on my perspective, those are not good properties. But I'm just letting you know, okay? Just wanna let you know which one will gonna work, which one will not gonna work. Okay? All right.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you
good
so
night.
much.
No
And for
problem.
inviting me.
Thank you, sister. We'll see you again Tuesday.